I think a lot of people are afraid to go to things by themselves. But it's so important to go by yourself, because then you don't show up as anybody other than yourself. You don't have your friend to lean on. You don't have somebody else that knows you, so that if you start acting differently than what they're accustomed to, they're maybe judging you, or you're feeling weird because they're looking over their, over your shoulder, like, why'd you just say that? Just get out of the house. Go show up to stuff. Meet as many people as you possibly can. DM people on Instagram. Sit down for coffee. Go for a run. Go to the gym. Meet people.
Let's talk about, and there's a point here that I think that's aligned with that, overcoming rejection.
Yeah.
Because
never happened to me.
Never happened.
Never happened, right?
Oh.
Because, we're telling people go out and meet people, right? But then how do you respond? How do you respond to that? How do you act upon that? How to resolve internally what's going on at that moment and rejection? Because you got to understand is not everybody's going to like you.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, man, what you do. You can do what you did with a kid, tattoo yourself or be the whatever party, but half of them still won't like you, right?
That's true. Very true. Yeah.
So,
rejection.
So, what's your thought on that? Like, what has been your process in your journey to manage that?
I don't think this is the best approach, but for so long, I've been so obsessed with making sure that everybody likes me that I've been more focused on them than me deciding if I like them or not. So what I mean by that is, like, I just ask questions. I give them direct eye contact. I learn about what's important to them, what makes them tick, and then I double down on that. And then they talk for hours. And they leave the conversation like, wow, like I feel so good about that conversation. That was so fun. It's because you just talked about the stuff that interested them the whole time. And you just kept asking questions, going deeper and deeper and deeper. And not a lot of times does that happen, because in conversation, people want to talk about themselves. And if two people are talking about themselves, then you don't really get anywhere, if that makes sense. But I almost challenge that now. And I realize that I don't think Riser would be where it is now if I didn't have this mindset that I'm about to say. But I think you should go into conversations more with, instead of, can this person like me? Do I connect with this person and their values? And I think that will get you further. It's better to have 10 very strong friends than 100, subpar friends, iffy friends. And so my approach is a little bit different now. And that's what we were talking about earlier, Greg, is I don't know a lot of the people that come to the Riser events anymore. I used to know them very well. And that's actually awesome for me, because it gives me the opportunity to go and figure out who those 10 are.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
So I'm at the networking event just like everybody else. I'm like, oh, cool. Who am I going to meet here tonight?
Yeah.
And I really just try to learn what's important to them, what they value, kind of what their moral standards look like, and then what their moral compass is. And I think that's a better approach, a more sustainable approach.
Yeah, because you're right. You don't want
a bunch of energy drink friends.
Yeah, and please everybody, right? The idea is you already know who you are. We talked about that on the last podcast, and I said it. You need to understand who you are and where you're going. And when you understand that as a person, then you can set the boundaries when you have that conversation with somebody else. Say, no, I appreciate this, but we are not talking eye to eye. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Right. Because you know exactly what you're looking for.
Yeah.
As a person.
Intentional.
It's intentional, but it takes time, right? Because when you're going through life as a young kid and a young adult, you're trying to still figure that out.
Yeah.
And
100%.
Yeah. Until you get, I don't know, I know you're 25, but I'll tell you, but by the mid 30s, 35, you're like, you know exactly your boundaries, your baseline, and you're not going to deviate for that.
I definitely wasn't who I was a year ago, and I definitely won't be who I am a year from now.
Yeah.
You know? So I'm still figuring it out.
Yeah.
But having conversations like this is affirmation and confirmation that those things are important, and I appreciate that reassurance.
Yeah.
One thing I'm trained in my business is to come from curiosity and come from contribution when talking with people. Yeah. And I think when you come from curiosity, you can gamify your interactions with people. Because like, let's say you come across somebody that's super dry and you are vibrant and energetic and they're kind of monotone and just like Ben Stein, right? Well, you can just see that as a challenge and be like, oh man, this is going to be fun. See how I can connect with this person who's the complete opposite of me, right? See what I can learn from them, because you know that they know something that you don't know. And figuring out what that is, that's the puzzle you get to solve to every single person you speak with.
Yes.
And if that's not fun, then I don't know what is, because who doesn't like to learn?
Yes.
Oh, now that was some hot sauce.
Well, everybody has unique experiences. None of us have lived the exact same life, right? People are innately fascinating, you know? They're very, very interesting. And if you just learn how to ask the right questions, just don't be a freaking asshole and talk over them and just sit back and listen. Yeah, you can uncover some cool stuff.